NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 is the night before SummerSlam, and a lot of stuff has happened over the past few weeks. I'm just waiting just to have the full card in front of me. So, first of all, we have the debuting Ember Moon, otherwise known as Athena. Who doesn't remember it? Athena facing Billie Kay. It's just really a simple match. I mean, Ember Moon's probably debuting. It's probably gonna win. So it's really that simple. Unless they use this for Billie Kay to win and maybe be called up to SmackDown or Raw. The thing now with being called up now is interesting because of the draft. Because they could go to SmackDown, they could go to Raw, or they could show up on both shows as a free agent at this point. It depends. When they call up people now, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And some of these names could be called up. Some of these names probably may not be called up. We don't know for sure. And that probably won't be happening until maybe the main event, to where that will come into play. Next up, we have No Way Jose versus Austin Aries. This one's very simple to me again. Aries picks up the win. He has a lot more experience. He has a lot more in-ring time than No Way Jose. Jose's pretty much at the gimmick level of a Funkasaurus or something of that level. Probably not going to be world champion. Probably not going to be anything like that. So just you could use this to give him the win against Aries, would make him a credible opponent to anyone, but I don't think that'll happen. Next up, we have Bobby Roode versus Andrade Cien Almas, former La Sombra. And we've seen Bobby Roode for a while now at takeovers, but never actually competing, just being in the crowd, being backstage, being wherever. Bobby Roode recently made his debut in NXT television, and the fucking glorious theme is amazing. I mean, CFOs has been known to just hammer a point home in a song. This is one where it made sense. This is one where you're able to do it. But with that being said, it's just, it makes sense for Roode to win. It's his first major match, much like Ember Moon has her first major match to take over. This is really Roode's debut match, technically. If you're not counting the download tour, if you're not counting live events, this is official NXT debut if you're counting that. So again, Roode should win this match. Almost can always have a time to get the win back at another takeover or something of that nature. Now we kind of go into the a little bit of the potential call-ups at this point. For the NXT Tag Championships, the Revival face Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano's currently still in the Cruiserweight Classic. He'll be in the second round. We'll have a second round match next week. But with that, I mean the Revival. People have said the Revival could be called up, but they're giving him basically a 2-time tag title run. I doubt that'll happen. The only reason I say this could be a call-up match is because Gargano and Ciampa's involvement in the Cruiserweight Classic, and once that tournament's over, they could bring them potentially as Cruiserweights. I doubt for a guy the size of Ciampa they would do that, but for Gargano, probably they would do that. But I feel like Revival will win because they just won the belts from American Alpha at the last TakeOver event, so they need to keep them strong, keep them going forward, or they could go again. They could go to Raw or SmackDown or whatever. Next up, the rematch for the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka versus Bayley. Asuka won the match, won the title at the last TakeOver, and Bayley has wanted this shot for a while. There was an injury. Bayley was injured at the time. That couldn't happen. So finally, the match will happen at a TakeOver, and honestly, Bayley won the title at the last TakeOver Brooklyn. I don't think she'll win it again at the Brooklyn event, unless this is just her event now, and she could win it at there, but Asuka recently won the title in Dallas. There is no way in my mind that she'll lose the belt this early, but anything can happen at this point. And finally, the NXT title on the line, Samoa Joe against Shinsuke Nakamura. Once again, Joe has been holding on to the belt since a couple takeovers ago, but that's a big thing. Again, with the call-up situation with Raw and SmackDown, SmackDown needs a lot more on their roster. So I could potentially see Nakamura winning this match, becoming the new champion, and Joe goes on to Raw or SmackDown or whatever. Again, with the draft situation, with the brand extension, it'd be interesting to see what happens if Joe did get called up. Would he go to Raw? Would he go to SmackDown? Would he be a free agent and just go through both shows until he gets signed somewhere? We don't know. We don't know how that's going to work. We honestly don't know how it's. We honestly do not know how that's going to work, especially with the whole Heath Slater thing going on. But I feel like Nakamura. It's Nakamura's time. He's sure he got into NXT very quickly at the Takeover Dallas event. He's been here for a few months now. I don't know if he'll win the title. I feel like it could happen, but again, Joe's held it for a while, so it depends what they want to do with Joe. At the end of the day, though, it's going to be a hell of a night in Brooklyn. So we'll see what happens from there, because it's going to be probably it'll probably outdo SummerSlam. I doubt that'll happen, but you never know.